NFL power rankings. Now, this is a very fluid list. It changes from week to week to week. How I do my power rankings is the teams in the top 10 can beat all the teams below them. That is how I see my power rankings fitting in each and every week. And let's start off with the number 10 team this week, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, they did get the first win of the week or of the season last week, beating the New York Giants 22-9. They moved to 1-2 on the season. They're unchanged from last week. They're sitting still at number 10. As the Kansas City Chiefs finally notched their first win of the season, I still don't like it feels like they still haven't played a complete game yet. We saw flashes in the third quarter of what this team can be, but the consistency is not there yet. The defense has had moments, but too many times they've let their opponents hang around, aka the New York Giants. Still, out of respect for the Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs, they're still inside the 10. Truthfully, the 23 other teams behind them are all going to probably lose to Kansas City Chiefs right now. That is why I still have them sitting at number 10. Obviously, people are upset about this. Obviously, people do not like the Kansas City Chiefs sitting at number 10. Buck to 1-2, Buck to 1-2, Buck to 1-2. All day in our comment section on Facebook.com/manhour NFL Talk. Why don't you have the Ravens up there? Why aren't the Ravens up there? Why aren't the Ravens? Guys, spoiler alert, the Ravens are not a top 10 team. Spoiler alert, the Bengals are not a top 10 team. Spoiler alert, the Arizona Cardinals are not a top 10 team. Because the Kansas City Chiefs right now can beat all three of those teams, hell, 23 other teams besides that, and they're going to prove it on Sunday. And Old Man River says, Kansas City? Laugh my ass off, he says. That's Jesus.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Old Man River, just because you're a pigskin pundit, I will respect your LMAO. Have you guys ever listened to LMAO band? Pretty good, by the way. LMAO, they got like party songs and whatnot, but whatever. Don't be laughing at my Kansas City Chiefs sitting at number 10. What you should be laughing about is the free fall that the Green Bay Packers took this week after their beat down loss to the Cleveland Browns, 13-10. Guys, the biggest issue right now for the Green Bay Packers is the mental lapses at the wrong time on defense. It's simple as that. Their defense can be stout. Their defense can be great, but they forget that they have to play against bad teams. The Packers' fall down this week is all about discipline. They looked over the Cleveland Browns this week, and they were looking to the Dallas Cowboys in this Week 4 matchup and overlooked the Browns. It's simple as that. The immaturity cost them, and the Green Bay Packers are still a very, very good team, but they're young, and those dumb mistakes will show up at the worst times, a.k.a. Week 3 versus the Cleveland Browns. If Jordan Love and company don't sharpen their focus, this kind of slip could keep happening, and they could find themselves out of the playoffs before they even know it. So coming in at number 9, guys, I do have the Green Bay Packers. And then coming in at number 8, unchanged from last week, are the Washington Commanders. Yes, they bid deep down the Las Vegas Raiders. They said, bring that ass here, boy. And they whooped that ass 41-24. The biggest issue on defense for the Washington Commanders is staying healthy. Their biggest issue period is staying healthy. Jalen Daniels missed last week. Yes, he missed it because he was injured. The Commanders are the oldest team in the league. One sleep wrong, you got to soar back for the next 2 weeks and you're out. Yes, the Commanders took care of business against a bad Las Vegas Raiders team. But let's be real. They are bad. They are the worst teams in the league. One of the worst teams in the league. The upside is real. The Washington roster, especially after pulling off their win with their backup quarterback, but the concerns remain. If Jayden Daniels can't stay healthy, the season will unravel fast. That's why I have them unchanged from last week, sitting at number 8. And then coming in at number 7 are the Detroit Lions. Yes, week 3, they did beat the Baltimore Ravens 38-30. But the biggest depth on their issue, or their biggest issue on this team is depth. Depth in the pass rush. Yes, the Lions knocked off the Baltimore Ravens. Let's pump the brakes a little bit, though, right? That win is not quite as impressive as it looks, given who the Ravens are right now. The Ravens are a complete dumpster fire. The Chicago Bears are a complete dumpster fire. The Green Bay Packers, we hyped them up just a little bit too much. So really, the Detroit Lions are a solid team, but much like the Colts, they haven't faced an elite opponent yet or beat an elite opponent yet. Until they prove it against other competition, they'll stay at the spot, sitting at number 7. I like them at number 7. Now, this is where things start to get a little wicked. Number 6, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, the Buccaneers are 3-0. Yes, the Buccaneers just beat the Jets 29-27. But, they are an injury-prone team right now. Mike Evans is injured again. He'll miss 3 to 4 weeks with a hamstring injury again. And they're 3-0 because Baker Mayfield is playing out of his freaking mind the last 2 minutes of every game. Now, you still got to give credit where credit is due. Baker Mayfield is carrying his team and playing like an elite quarterback, like he's supposed to. However, the Buccaneers got a hell of a schedule coming up. They play the Commanders. They play the Eagles. They play a lot of undefeated teams, or like a lot of top-tier teams moving forward. So as I did move them up 2 spots from 8 to number 2, they are sitting at number 6. And will suck my dick, little bitch. How about that? And then coming in at number 5, the Indianapolis Colts. Moving to 3-0 on the season. They did beat the Houston Texans 17-10. The biggest issue that I see with the Indianapolis Colts is they still are kind of really untested, right? They beaten the Miami Dolphins, trash. They beaten the Denver Broncos, trash. They beaten the Houston Texans, trash. Now the Colts shot up to top 5 after 3 straight wins. Daniel Jones, this Daniel Jones system that he is leading is clicking with Shane Steichen. While they haven't faced truly great team yet, they'll get tested against the Rams this week. If they can hold up there, yes, this team is a real threat in the AFC. That's why I have them sitting at number 5 right now. And then coming in at number 4 are the San Francisco 49ers. They did beat the Arizona Cardinals 16-15 last week. The biggest issue for the 49ers is injuries. Injuries, and oh, by the way, they got more injuries. Nick Bosa is out for the year. Brock Purdy is still nursing that shoulder, toe, hamstring, shoulder. I don't know what. His whole body's hurt. But the Niners do make the biggest jump this week, but let's not sugarcoat it. The injuries are piling up. Despite all that, guys, this team has shown resilience and found ways to win. If they can get healthy, or matter of fact, just stay healthy from what they have now, they're a real threat in the NFC West. That is why I do like the San Francisco 49ers at number 4. And then coming in at number 3, up 2 spots from last week, are the LA Chargers. They did beat the Broncos 23-20. Now, one of the biggest issues with the Chargers as well is injuries. Year after year, the Chargers seem to be faced with some type of injury issue, right? Now, all of a sudden, Najee Harris is down with the torn Achilles, out for the year. Can Hampton handle the true workload moving forward? Every week, they're looking more and more complete, and they're climbing up the rankings because of it. That's why I have them sitting at number 3 this week. And then coming in at number 2, unchanged from last week, are the Philadelphia Eagles. I wanted to actually move them down this week, but I did not have any justification of moving other teams up above them. But they did beat the Rams last week 33-26. The biggest the biggest downfall for the Eagles that I could possibly see is that there's a little cracks in the armor starting to show, right? Yes, they did battle in the second half versus the LA Rams. However, that first half, they did not look great. They remain second because they still have Jalen Hurts. They still have Saquon Barkley. They still have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, which are all healthy. And when all 4 of these guys play together at the same time on the field, they have not lost a regular season game yet. Until they get knocked off, they're going to stay in the top 2 each and every week. And obviously coming in at number 1 are the Buffalo Bills. They did beat the Miami Dolphins on Thursday night, 31-21. They're unchanged, and they remain at the top. This is the most complete team in football. Josh Allen is cooking, and the defense looks balanced. And honestly, I don't see a real test coming anytime soon. The scariest part, they're not even playing perfect football yet. The defense is still trying to figure themselves out. Josh Allen is playing very, very passive, right? And until somebody proves otherwise, the Buffalo Bills are number 1. So, guys, there it is. My Week 4 NFL power rankings. Bills stay at number 1. Colts and 49ers jump to the top 5. And the Green Bay Packers take a tumble after a rough loss. But what do you guys think? Did I rank the Lions too low? Should the Chargers be number 1 over the Buffalo Bills? Let me know in the comments down below.